Good afternoon, everybody. How is all my wonderful subscribers and viewers out there doing today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It's Nikki D, and welcome back to the Nikki D channel. Today, we're going to be doing the 2025 WWE Raw Recap episode 17, and this week's episode was live from Omaha, Nebraska, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening. What was your favorite moment of Monday Night Raw? Let me know down in the comment section below. You want to say hi? You want to talk about wrestling? Just post a comment down in the comment section below, and I read and reply to every positive message I see. Don't forget to like the video, share the video all over social media, and smash that subscribe button so you could be notified of all my future videos. And with that being said, I hope everybody continues to have an amazing day, and without further ado, let's get to this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Was live from Omaha, Nebraska, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening, and we kick things up like we do with most weeks, with everybody showing up to the arena from Rusev to Otis, and we had our kickoff segment with the World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso coming down to the ring. We had a little yeet party. Omaha chanted one more time, so our World Heavyweight Champion obliged and had one more yeet party before really getting in to his segment. He ended up trying to call out Logan Paul, but then the next thing we heard was ladies and gentlemen, which meant he was interrupted by Paul Heyman, who came down to the ring and started to talk about what he had an idea for Jey Uso, but Jey Uso wanted to bring up CM Punk and Roman Reigns, so Paul Heyman went into depth about how he wasn't the bad guy, and almost everything Paul Heyman said was 100% correct. Roman Reigns didn't come back to save Paul Heyman after WrestleMania 40, so I understand Paul Heyman feeling like he's not the bad guy, the villain, the scumbag in this situation, and Jey Uso quickly asked, what does that have to do with me? Before Paul Heyman said nothing, absolutely nothing. But what I came out here to speak about has everything to do with you. Paul Heyman said Jey Uso wants to be World Heavyweight Champion, but Seth Rollins needs to be champion, and went on to say that Seth Rollins challenges Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso says, I'm not scared. How about tonight, yeet? And then when we got back from commercial, we had Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman backstage. Seth Rollins said, I told you that Jey Uso would fall for it. And then we had Paul Heyman trying to give Braun Breaker some wisdom from the wise man before we got into our first match of the evening, which featured Penta going one-on-one with J.D. McDonough from the Judgment Day, and JD was able to strike first in this match, but while we saw some ground and pound wrestling with both wrestlers exchanging control, JD McDonough tried to put this one away quickly with a roll-up for a 1-2 kick-out. Then JD was able to hit a beautiful standing moonsault for a 1-2 kick-out, and then McDonough and Penta started to exchange chops, which allowed Penta to get back into control control of the match. Then Penta kicked JD McDonough's hamstring, hit a chop. Both men at that point were on the top rope. And Penta was able to hit a kick, but a minute or two later, both men were on the apron, and JD McDonough hit a beautiful attitude adjustment on the apron as we went to the commercial break. And when we returned from the commercial break, J.D. McDonough was in control. We did see J.D. McDonough hit a beautiful Spanish fly on Penta during the commercial break. But Penta was able to hit an upside down kick in the corner for a 1-2 kick out, which turned into a slugfest that ended up being won by Penta. And then Penta was able to hit a sling blade for a 1-2 kick out as Penta started to chop down JD McDonough, and Penta hit a beautiful tilt the world backbreaker for a 1-2 kick out, which at point Finn Balor distracted the referee, which allowed Carlito to get involved into this matchup. Penta, though, hit a beautiful crossbody on both Carlito and JD McDonough. Then Penta threw JD McDonough in the ring, but Finn Balor didn't allow Penta to get back in the ring. The referee saw everything that was going down outside the ring. The referee pointed at Finn Balor. The referee pointed at Carlito and said, "You guys got to get out of here." And while Finn Balor and Carlito were being ejected from ringside, Chad Gable would get involved in the match, and Penta ended up hitting a suicide dive on Chad Gable, which opened the door up for J.D. McDonough to hit a whiplash followed by a moonsault, but Penta was able to roll through and hit an amazing Mexican destroyer for a 1-2-3. And Penta was able to defeat J.D. McDonough via pinfall on Monday Night Raw. And then we went backstage where we had Adam Pearce and Grayson Waller. And Adam Pearce told Grayson Waller, "I got you a match." And Grayson Waller says, "I don't want to face that guy." Then Austin Theory popped into frame and said, "How about we give the match to Austin Theory?" Austin's been looking to get on the cart for a while, and Adam Pearce said, "Well, if that's what you want to do," and that's how we wrapped up hour one of Monday Night Raw. This week's episode of Monday Night Raw was live from Omaha, Nebraska, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening, and we kicked off hour two with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in the ring, with Austin Theory wondering who his opponent is going to be, and then all of a sudden we saw the return of the Celtic Warrior Sheamus as he marched down to the ring, and this match ended up getting underway fairly quickly as Sheamus tossing Austin off his booty to start the match, but that frustrated Austin Theory, and Austin Theory started to beat down Sheamus, but Sheamus was able to weather the early storm and start beating down Austin Theory, and then Austin Theory hit a beautiful drop kick, which did not faze Sheamus because Sheamus immediately came right back with a clothesline of his own, followed it up with an Irish curse backbreaker, not once but twice, and then Sheamus attempted to lock Austin Theory in the cloverleaf, but Theory was able to roll Sheamus in and punch him away, but Sheamus came right back and attempted the cloverleaf again, this time successfully locking it in. and Austin Theory was able to get to the ropes, and that ended up leading Sheamus out of the ring as he took out Grayson Waller, and we went to the commercial break. When we came back from the commercial break, Austin Theory was in control of this match, was landing kicks on Sheamus, but that didn't really faze Sheamus. That made Sheamus angry, and Sheamus ended up slamming Austin Theory before hitting a running knee or a 1-2 kick out, and then Sheamus went to the top rope, was unsuccessful in his top rope maneuver, but Sheamus ended up getting posted as Austin Theory got out of the way, which led for Austin Theory to hit a beautiful blockbuster for a 1-2 kick out, and then Sheamus ended up catching Austin Theory on the top rope, and Sheamus turned it into a beautiful white noise from the middle rope for a 1-2 kick out, and then Sheamus ended up getting Austin Theory tangled up in the ropes, set up the beat to the Bowery, and ended up hitting 14 beats of the Bowery over the chest of Austin Theory. And that really dazed Austin Theory. Sheamus went into the corner, got himself hyped up, hit a beautiful bro kick on Austin Theory, and 1, 2, 3, Sheamus ended up defeating Austin Theory via pinfall on Monday Night Raw. And then we went backstage as we saw the Judgment Day and AJ Styles showing up saying he's not looking for any trouble. He just wanted to let the Judgment Day know that he's coming for the Intercontinental Championship. And Dominic Mysterio looked at Finn Balor and said, "You can handle this for me, right?" And Finn Balor said, "Yeah, I got you." But we went backstage again, and we had the craziest backstage promo of heels I've seen in a long time. We had Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods of the New Day, talking with Chad Gable. The New Day saying that they're tired of giving the War Raider title opportunities, and they feel like it's time to give teams like American made a title opportunity. Chad Gable said, "I really like what I'm hearing right now." Before Becky Lynch just popped into the scene, Xavier Woods said, "I'm really sorry for what Lyra Valkyria did to you," and Becky was like, "Thank you, thank you," and we ended up finding out that Becky was coming out to the ring, and when we got back from the commercial break, that's exactly what happened. Becky Lynch was in the middle of the ring for her promo, and she ended up being really savage to start. She said Becky Lynch is garbage, and she should be praised for taking out the garbage. She even ended up calling Lyra Valkyria recycling, saying she's not as bad as garbage, but she's still garbage, which prompted Lyra Valkyria to come out and immediately had me laughing. Lyra was like, "Did you just call me recycling?" And Lyra said that Becky Lynch is the queen of recycling moves, move sets, etc. And Becky said that she was the best of all time. And Becky ended up hitting Lyra Valkyria as these two women exchanged savage words on the microphone. And Lyra Valkyria was able to block and hit back, which ended up starting a brawl. Becky Lynch went for the manhandle slam, but Lyra Valkyria turned it into a Nightwing as Lyra Valkyria stood tall during that segment. And just like that, we was on to our next match of the evening as we had the Women's World Champion Io Sky going one-on-one with the prodigy Roxanne Perez. And this was really a battle of strength to start this matchup off. Io Sky was able to hit a beautiful shoulder tackle out the box, but Roxanne Perez just savagely slapped Io Sky across the face and ended up running away and getting back into the ring. And when they got back into the ring, Roxanne Perez was in full speed, able to hit a hurricanrana. Io Sky hit a drop kick on Roxanne, which sent Roxy out the ring. And then Roxanne started to target the knee of Io Sky, and Roxanne Perez was able to hit a beautiful crossbody out of the ring. And Io Sky following it up with a beautiful crossbody out the ring of her own. And then Roxy ended up throwing Io into the ring. Roxanne was landing punches on Io and ended up injuring the knee of Io Sky. Roxanne Perez yelled counter out about a second before we went to the commercial break. When we returned from the commercial break, Roxanne Perez was able to hit a beautiful top rope arm drag, and just like that, both women were down. When they started to rise to their feet, these two women locked up in a slugfest, which was won by Io Sky. And then Io Sky was able to hit a kick for a 1-2 kick out. Then Io Sky went to the top rope and was able to hit a beautiful missile drop kick. Started to go for the bullet train attack, but her knee gave out. And then we saw a couple of roll-ups back to back without any count from the ref. And then Io hit a stomp for a 1-2 kick out. And then Io Sky hit a German suplex, but Roxanne Perez was able to counter it the second time around and hit an amazing angle slam. Then Io hit the knees to the back. Io went to the top rope. She missed the moonsault. And Roxanne Perez was able to hit her savage knees to the neck for a 1-2 kick out. Which really frustrated Roxanne Perez as she started to beat down Io Sky. And Roxanne Perez at that point hit a dragon suplex. And this is where the roll-ups really started to come in. Roxanne rolled up Io for a 1-2 kick out. Io got the roll-up back for a 1-2 kick out. Roxanne rolled up Io for a 1-2 kick out. Io Sky rolled up Roxanne for a 1-2 kick out. Roxanne rolled up Io for a 1-2 kick out. Io rolled up Roxanne for a 1-2 kick out. Roxanne rolled up Io for a 1-2 kick out. And finally, Io Sky rolled up Roxanne Perez. 1, 2, 3. Roxanne Perez was left in absolute shock as Io Sky defeated Roxanne Perez via pinfall. And then Julia showed up, and Roxanne Perez and Julia started to jump Io Sky because Rhea Ripley decided to stay in Australia and not come to work today. So she betrayed Io Sky, left her hanging to get jumped by Julia and Roxanne Perez. And that's how we wrapped up hour 2 of Monday Night Raw. This week's episode of Monday Night Raw was live from Omaha, Nebraska, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening, and we kicked up hour 3 with the in-ring debut of the new version of Rusev as he was taking on Otis from the Alpha Academy. And this is a great wrestling when it comes to big men slapping man meat. And we kick things off with a battle of strength from these two giant men. Rusev was able to hit a knee and started to beat down Otis in the corner. Then Rusev followed it up with a clothesline, but Otis didn't budge. He didn't fall. And Then these two really started to lock up, going back and forth. Otis was trying to hit a big cannonball, but Rusev was able to hit a heel kick as we went to the commercial break. When we returned from the commercial break, Otis looking like he was almost knocked out as Rusev was dominating this match. Then Otis attempted to lift Rusev, powering him over the announce table, and just like that, Rusev immediately rose to his feet, and Otis ended up punching the post after landing a series of punches on Rusev. Rusev went to go kick Otis in the head. Otis ducked out the way, and Rusev ended up kicking the post as well, as Otis ended up getting Rusev in the ring, and Otis was able to hit a beautiful splash in the corner, but then Rusev again was able to hit that beautiful heel kick he does so well, and then Rusev said this one is over, stomped on Otis's spine, and locked in the accolade, as Otis had no other choice but to tap out, and just like that, Rusev defeated Otis via submission on Monday Night Raw, and then Rusev attacked Tozawa, and he threw Otis's shoulder into the ring post not once but twice, and then Rusev hit a beautiful super kick on Otis, locked in the accolade again, and at this point security showed up to try to break Rusev off Otis, and that's how we wrapped up Rusev and Otis this week. And then just like that, Adam Pearce was in the middle of the ring, and he ended up introducing Pat McAfee to the ring. Pat McAfee went into the ring. Adam Pearce ended up introducing Gunther, who came out. And Adam Pearce is said, tonight is the night for talking. The talking ends Saturday, but just keep it professional. Pat McAfee started things off talking about all the great things that Omaha, Nebraska offered, from the College World Series to the Nebraska Cornhuskers. He ended up saying that he is going to prove on Saturday that Gunther has gone soft, and Gunther didn't have much to say, but when Gunther spoke, he meant everything he said. Ended up saying, only the grace of God will pull me off your throat, and ended up walking away after that. So this Saturday at Backlash, Pat McAfee and Gunther are going to destroy each other, and just like that, we are at the main event of the evening for the World Heavyweight Championship. The champion Jey Uso going one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins, and these two men exchanged control in the first few seconds of this match. Seth attempted a roll-up for a 1-2 kick out, and just like that, these two were facing off. Seth ended up hitting a shoulder tackle for a 1 kick out, and then Jey ended up landing punches on Seth. This ended up turning into a shove fest, which went into a slug fest, as Seth Rollins was hitting kicks. He attempted a stomp, but he missed it. Went for the pedigree, and Jey Uso rolled out of the ring. But Seth Rollins was beating down Jey, as Paul Heyman was outside the ring singing Seth Rollins' song, and Jey Uso ended up punching Seth Rollins to get control of the match. Jey hit a beautiful Pele kick, followed it up with a clothesline and a suicide dive as we went to the commercial break. When we returned from the commercial break, Seth Rollins was in control of this match as he hit a running forearm, and Jey and Seth were going back and forth, exchanging control of this match. Went to the top rope. Both men ended up hitting a crossbody on each other at the same time in the middle of the ring. Both men were down. Jey Uso got back into the match by hitting a good 3 or 4 right hands on Seth Rollins and followed it up with a Samoan drop. Seth Rollins was laid out in the corner, so Jey Uso sprinted across the ring and threw his butt in Seth Rollins' face in the corner for a 1-2 kick out. Then Seth went out of the ring, and Jey Uso was in pursuit, which at that point Seth Rollins hit a suicide dive, went to the top rope, looking for a splash of sorts, but Jey Uso hit a beautiful super kick for a 1-2 kick out, and both men were down. And when both men rose back to their feet, Jey Uso attempted a spear, missed it, and Seth Rollins then attempted a splash, missed that too. Jey Uso attempted a spear for the second time, but this time Seth Rollins caught the spear and turned it into a pedigree for a 1-2 kick out. And then Jey Uso attempted a chokehold, how he won the title off of Gunther at WrestleMania. Ended up hitting a spear for a 1-2 kick out. Then both men were at the top rope, and Braun Breaker ended up getting involved in this matchup. Seth Rollins, though, was able to hit a superplex, followed it up with a Falcon Arrow and a stomp for a 1-2 kick out, which is where Sami Zayn arrived, and Jey Uso was able to turn the tide in his favor. Hit a super kick, hit the spear, went to the top rope, hit a splash, 1-2 kick out by Seth Rollins, and both men were down. And then Braun Breaker ended up spearing Sami Zayn outside the ring. Then Braun Breaker ended up spearing Jey Uso. Seth Rollins ended up hitting the stomp before CM Punk arrived and attacked Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker with a steel chair. And the match still might be going on because I never heard the referee call for the disqualification bell here. Even though it ended in disqualification, I might have to go back and watch the ending again to see if I missed it, but I didn't hear the bell ring. But regardless, CM Punk saving Sami Zayn and Jey Uso and standing tall, and that's how we ended this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. And that was the 2025 WWE Raw Recap episode 17, which was live from Omaha, Nebraska, as we was reminded many times throughout the evening. What was your favorite moment of Monday Night Raw? Let me know down in the comment section below. You want to say hi? You want to talk about wrestling? Just post a comment down in the comment section below, and I read and reply to every positive message I see. Don't forget to like the video, share the video all over social media, and you made it all the way to the end of this video. Go smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of all my future videos. And if you want to see some more of me, Nicky D, then go check out another one of my videos, because I got hours of content that'll keep you entertained well into the evening. With that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I'm Nicky D. This is the Nicky D channel, and I will see all y'all beautiful people next time. Bye, y'all.